The Princess and the Pea by Hans Christian Andersen. You know, the guy that wrote The Little Mermaid and The Marsh King's Daughter and things like that. I was going out to take a pee earlier and I had that flash through my mind, The Princess and the Pea, and I said, you know what? We know this story. Maybe not all of us, because there was a guy I ran into today that was standing in front of the Coke machine or something, and I said, watch the pot never boils, and he was like, what? I said, the longer you look at something, it takes longer for it to happen. Just find yourself occupied. I never heard that. So there are all these old things. Maybe you don't know the story of The Princess and the Pea by Hans Christian Andersen. I just remember it being a story with all plot and no ending. There's no ending to that story in my memories. So I realized I had to look it up. And so I looked it up. And it's a story about a guy. He's a prince. And he wants a real princess. And he goes out in the world looking for all kinds of real princesses and real princesses and real princesses. And he finds that they've all got flaws of their own kind. They're all princesses, but they're not real princesses. They don't meet his standards. He's elite. He needs more. And so then he's finally tired of it, and he goes home. And he's at home, and in the night, there's a knock on the door, banging, banging, banging. The rain, the wind was coming, and the rain in torrents. And the damn rain was coming down through the toes of her heels. Toes. Damn. The rain was coming down to her toes and through her heels. And the old king had answered the door. And then the old queen, the mother, she said, look at the state of her. That's not a real princess. I'll show her. She said, I need a place to rest for the night. So they put her in a bed, and this woman took, and she put 20 mattresses and 20 eider down whatevers on top of a pea. We'll see what she is. And she climbed up. Imagine having that much shit just lying around. You know, not so long ago, most of us were just sleeping on the straw. And this is an old story, and she's got 20 mattresses and 20 eider-downs to put on a pea. That woman, if she had known that pea was under there, she probably would have fucking eaten it. That's what we'd think if it was a pea that she knew it was. This isn't part of the story. So this princess who was just soaked, real princess, we're looking for her, you know. She goes and gets into that thing, and she sleeps all night, or goes in there all night. And in the morning, the old mother says, so how did you rest? And she says, it was awful. She told the truth, or something. I felt like there was something hard under me, like a stone, all night long. I just could not fall asleep. It's so bad that I woke up with bruises all over my body. And the old mother says, now that is a real princess. And that's the end of the story. I looked at that and I said, what you realize is Hans Christian Andersen talking about this stuff. He could have told it the way he saw it. The guy that wrote The Little Mermaid, I haven't read that yet. Waiting on the movie. My idea is that she was just some whore. This guy had been running around everywhere he could get to within borders and fucking everybody in every town and saying, not good enough for me, whore. And all the while the mother's saying, oh, those fucking whores. She thinks they're all whores because if they like him, they must be, because he only fucks whores. And she's got to believe that they like him at least. So then he comes back, and then you got some woman in the pouring rain, and it's pouring down to her the toes of her shoes and through the heels, and she's not looking so good. And she just wakes up in the morning all covered in bruises. And you know what? It's not from the kid. Not recently, anyway. It's because she's just a basic whore walking around in the streets, and there's a big fucking house, and she just goes and acts like she's something. And she's been beaten up from, you know, probably a hard night of being out there. That might be why she looked for help. Just like leaving Las Vegas, where that chick got gangbanged by the fraternity boys and they treated her poorly. And that might be what she went through. She's saying, that's why I got bruises all over my fucking body. And she probably ate the pee because she could smell it. But what we don't realize, there is an end to this story, because she didn't really just happen upon that place. She knew the place. She knew the kid that was living there. She'd been in a situation with him to begin with. And I think what Hans Christian Andersen was trying to put into our heads was a porno where, in the end, as she's on the bed and he's pissing all over her face, and she's lapping it up, lapping it up, lapping it up, and he sees a bruise where he once fucking hit her when he was pissing all over her face. He remembers her. And he married the lowest whore of his life. What's the moral of the story? Well, first, you do need to know they lived happily ever after. You define the morality in that.